Hi, it's me again. Today I am popping on. I know I've been away for a while on this rebuild time that we're in. And I guess ultimately I just want to kind of come and talk about what I've been going through, what I've been experiencing, and what I'm noticing. And so it's been a lot. So since I've been away, I got pregnant. I had a miscarriage of twins. They were twins. And yeah, that process was kind of completed just in the last week, this week. And I kind of wanted to talk about what I gained from the experience because ultimately it's not what you would expect. It was very much so not what I would have expected. So in October, at the end of October, shortly after my birthday was confirmed that I had miscarried the babies. Little did I know, as I was sorting out some deep issues within my self-love and actually practicing maintenance on my self-love, changing perspectives about everything in my life that had discomfort with it, this pregnancy gave me the time to really move through those things. And it turned out to be very, very supportive to my journey. I got to take a nice long break from my daily routine. The pregnancy became an honor. It became an honor to have the ability to hold two bodies. That felt like an honor. Then also, I know that that's bringing back two beings, possibly two ancestors. And with my relationship and with myself and with my guides, my spirit team, I felt like that they were honoring me in this. That was my initial experience with the thought of being pregnant with twins. Twins, y'all. I still almost can't believe twins. I had done some readings about my pregnancy, and my friends who are readers around me as well, they decided to give me free services and stuff. So it was really crazy. But ultimately, they both said that I was being shown something. And so this was before it was confirmed miscarriage. Talking about the personality of the beings that were going to come through, and how it's impacting my life and how I will learn so much from this experience, which I did. So the honor showed me that I was deserving. The honor confirmed that I was living an honorable life. This is the way I internalized it, as that, I was being honored to be, strong enough, blessed enough, good enough to be chosen to be a vessel through which two beings would pass. And in my understanding, they would be girls, is what I understood. The energy of them was that it was two girls. And so I was like, oh, I asked for one and I got two. Like, what? What? I got two. Like, that was the experience I was having. So, and finding out that they were not going to come through, none of that really shifted, because the fact of the matter is I still held those twins for the time I had them. And there was a definite pulling and nourishment and providing that I was doing during those times. And I'm still honored to have embodied that space with two beings. It was so noisy though inside. It was so noisy. There was just a lot of noise internally. But when they left, I felt the quiet of just myself. And that was interesting to notice. I think I was ready for it, waiting on it almost. But also, it was not just a releasing of them. It's I'm pretty sure, and I wish I could explain this better, but that releasing of them was love. It was acceptance, it was truth. And during this time, I had the understanding, I had several experiences with in myself about how I've been loving myself outside of this, and how I've been holding myself and taking care of myself, and the level of which I was not doing prior to my pregnancy. So it pointed out where I was not loving me. It pointed out where I wasn't feeling good enough. It pointed out that I was playing this game with value, and I was in agreement with feeling less. I was in agreement with my hiding from myself because of fear of the unknown, fear of having, fear of not having, fear of myself, my own power, fear of failure. Literally all these opposing perspectives all at once. Like, and so I processed it. And in that time, in my meditation, in my holding space and being in those energies, I had several conversations with my mom. And my mom has passed away. So what I was given was information on how I ended up embodying all of which I did, that put me in this mental state that locked myself into a cage within me. And so that was becoming clear. All of the answers to the questions that I didn't have before were coming through. Understanding how I was handled as a little baby, like 2 years and younger. Understanding how my mother was feeling when I was conceived, and how I was being held in my developmental years, which was, unfortunately, but all honors to my mother, because I benefited so much from this experience in my life. Self-hatred. I was birthed out of that, and not wanting to have been birthed. My mother did not want to be pregnant with me, but she kept me. I would like to say right here that I questioned the timing of this pregnancy repeatedly. I was not sure it was time for me to be pregnant, because I was trying to make certain moves and I wanted to be in a different position when this baby arrived. And, not being held thereafter because of her emotional status. And then me being so young and so sensitive, embodying all of my mother's emotions. My father passed when I was like 4. And during that time, I am going to say that I felt neglected. I think that's the simplest way to put it. There was some neglect. I think that she was having me for him. And he was already, I think, in a wheelchair by that point. But she was having the babies, out of love for him. And, I was the one where she started to feel trapped. She started to feel trapped when she was pregnant with me. When she found out she was pregnant with me. So then that was like in my seeding. That was in my seeding. And so there's so many other things that also were there. But knowing these things, while they were painful, they were very clarifying. Because it was like, oh, no wonder this hurts so deep. No wonder it's taken me so long to finally source where this came from. I mean, I understand that there was a level of this coming down the generational line, but understanding how my mother felt when she was pregnant with me made a big difference in how I'm handling myself now in life. So it was much needed. And I'm glad I'm able to get that clarity even without her being present, and then experiencing those feelings firsthand. Because when Spirit shows you things, a lot of times you feel it. It's not like just words coming through. The words that match that emotion. And that was what I felt. And wow, it was so powerful, thorough experience. I released a lot of sadness during this time. And I feel like that was the childhood sadness that I carried. I also, of course, bled during this time and lost the pregnancy tissue. And I feel like through this entire process, there was a pouring out of the sadness that I was carrying with me all this time. I feel like it made me review my childhood, and it helped me to process what I had created in myself. But it showed me where I've been playing myself, and it showed me also in the end that my mother is not responsible for anything that I chose to internalize and how I chose to embody that internalization. That was on me. And we talk about children like they're innocent and they don't pay for their thoughts. They don't like create with their emotions. They do just as much as we do. They're literally little people. Like they be peopling. They be out here doing what children do. And when you're young, there's less things in the way of your desires. So things happen. Like things happen. And so I internalized that, and it led to a very sad childhood, a very lonely childhood, and a very unloved childhood, and some unpleasant situations because of the lack of love. Had I known to love myself, that would have been different. Had I had enough strength to still hold on to myself, even though what was happening, had I been able to do that, had I stood up instead of sitting down within myself, this would be a whole nother experience. But I bowed because it was easier, it was less painful. Essentially, that was the main thing, the pain. Getting obedience when you're sensitive is really, really hard to live, like that. And so I tried to fit the mold, and unfortunately when I did that, it's like I threw away all of me. Like I threw a lot of it away. I tucked it away so deep in me that I really don't remember myself before making those decisions. It's like I didn't exist until I started making the decisions that she wanted me to make. And that's really what I remember when I think of myself as a child. I remember a lot of the moments of making those decisions and figuring out how to make those decisions that were really ultimately not in alignment with myself, and in alignment instead with the agenda, that my mother had for me. And that made me a rug. Like, real talk. It made me like a rug. And it was like that until my late 20s when I got tired of it and I started changing how I was handling myself. And I didn't change everything because I was still being handled. I was actually then taking care of my mother in my 20s. So it was not ideal. And I actually chose to take care of her over my first child because I didn't think I could do both. And I didn't want to lean on them to do it for me because I did not trust that. And it was gonna, this is so crazy because I think it was gonna be a girl. I had a dream it was a girl. And then a friend of the guys that it was by, the man who was by, said it would be a girl. And I did not decide to keep that baby, which I'm not going to say I regret it. I'm going to say that I felt like I made the best decision and I did thoroughly think it through. But I couldn't live with who the daddy was. I couldn't live with that being a daddy. I couldn't accept it at that time. And I understand now it could have turned out so many different ways, and I just kind of made a decision based off of a pessimistic perspective. But I guess if I had it to do again, I probably would not have made the same decision because it would have saved me in other ways as well. That baby would have helped me greatly to choose myself, ultimately, because I would have put my family out and they would have to make it on their own, and I would just got my own place. so that I could have the lifestyle I wanted, to raise my own children, and to not have certain influences living in my house, which I realized at that point were detrimental. So I was looking to move out of that situation when the baby was conceived, actually, now I think about it. But what happened has happened. All has been forgiven. And I have made a piece on my altar for that baby. I named her Sacred Fern after my daddy. And his name was Fern. And I always thought that would be cool to name a girl Fern. So that's her name. And so that has been done. Peace has been made. Respects have been given. And yes. So let's see. Okay, so then, yeah, I did at one point feel like that things going the way they did was like karma. But I was like, I don't know if I really believe that, or I just want to tell myself that. So I kind of let that go. But at the same time, I am so grateful that I got to do so much releasing in such a short period of time. And I noticed that there's this trend right now of like releasing the thing that you've been working on your whole life. Like the thing that's been the hardest thing your whole life. Like this is the time to like drop that. During this time, my husband had some significant releases too, about his childhood and his development. And it was just really beautiful to like be able to witness that. To like let it go, to like choose yourself, and to really become more authentic in every way. Like those things that hold you back from that, they are falling away. They're getting cut off. And I think that that's amazing. I just watched a video not too long ago of another healer walking someone through this process, and he was explaining that he had just released something he had been dealing with his whole life and taking his power back. And let me tell you, the empowerment is real. The empowerment is real. You will literally feel it come back into you and just like stand you up. Like such a good feeling when you hit those places. But yeah, I felt that within myself as well. Like feeling that part of me, this is the thing I've been working on my whole life, has to do with overcoming this mommy thing, being able to stand up in myself in a whole powerful, assertive, yes, graceful, beautiful way. And to be undoubtedly me, unquestionably me. Like, just yes to me. So, this is such a great space that it has brought me to, and so much deep, deep healing. And I feel like I'm still, pushing those things around and doing some sorting on the level, but it's more subconscious and conscious right at this exact moment. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about, it's 2020. The time said 2020 when I looked down. What that mean? Oh, I started this whole process in 2020. This began a long time ago. Oh, dang. I didn't even realize that. Right into 2020, we had a major financial shift in my household. And I know a lot of people did. Wow, I have to think about that. But anyway, so I guess this is the outcome. That's so weird. Now I gotta wonder, what do 2020 mean? Let me look that up real quick. Meaning of number 2020. It's a symbol of kindness and compassion, but it also represents the possibility that you could lose something if you don't take action. Ooh. What do that mean? Okay. It's telling you to be prepared for what is coming your way. Your guardian angels are telling you that changes are about to enter your life. And what was I talking about? I was talking about the changes of 2020, the shifting. Oh yeah, the shifting of things. Okay. I gotta read the whole thing now because I want to hear what they had to say. I mean, what the numerology mean? What the numerology mean? Okay. Changes are about to enter your life, and you need to be prepared both mentally and physically. The changes coming your way could be emotional or even physical. Whatever you have to face now is going to teach you to become a better person and a better human being. I already did that though. Just joking. To learn the lesson that is behind the angel number 2020, you need to take this warning seriously. If you notice this number but you decide to ignore it, you might miss out on a great deal of wisdom and trust that is being sent to you by your guardian angels. Angel number 2020 will appear in your life when you need support and backup by your guardian angels. The celestial powers are going to help you to overcome your fears and learn what you need to learn from their presence and divine message. The divine forces will be by your side every step of the way. Their energy and support are going to lead you to something extraordinary and highly necessary for your future. Closely listen to what they have to say and accept their advice with an open heart. The guardian angels will never trick you or lead you into something potentially bad for you. Therefore, accept their message and follow the divine path of the angel numbers. And the thought that I just had was that every path you choose is divine. And so if you're taking it, it's divine. Don't doubt the divine. Now I'm going to listen to that message too. Because I don't know if this for me, this is probably for both, all of us. Shoot. Okay. Anyway, so more changes to come. New things coming into the life. Okay. Angel numbers. This message was brought to you by Angel Numbers, Joanne
Lord,
Sacred
okay,
Scribes,
well.
and it can be found at sacredscribesangelnumbers.blogspot.com. What a message to close out with. I was just talking about, but I'm just talking about all these changes. So I'm just talking about all these changes I went through. So, honestly, I feel like I have in this moment some physical changes coming in. I feel like it's more of a physical change thing that's going to be happening soon, but definitely invest in my life in a different way. My energy, my feeling, my thoughts really charging up myself and my thinking to support what I want to build, because I have a lot to do and I haven't even began to start really the work that I came here to do. So I'm working on a poetry book. It's going to be enlightening and awareness, spiritual awareness, and talking about all of this transformation that we go through. And then I have another book this Spirit has given me upon a download in the awakening of an early morn. Taking several notes down, and this one will be like leading you into the self and footwork on getting centered and grounded in the self and understanding your intuition. ECT, it's gonna be a phenomenal book. It is not going to be a regular book by the standards of regular books. I don't want to say it's a workbook because it's not, but it's gonna be so unique and so much fun to make. So I'm going to be starting on that as soon as I finish the poetry book. So y'all stay tuned and I'll let you know. I'll put you on when it's done. And I'm going to be sharing some poetry as well because, and I just like to do it. The only thing that's been holding me back is that, I know I haven't copyrighted some things. So I'm getting that lined up so that I can share more. And then some things I will just share. So anyway, I love y'all. Truly, truly. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for your time and your energy into this moment. And make sure you share this with anybody you think can use it. If you know anybody who's going through these kinds of changes, let them know that maybe they're releasing something and it's not really so much about the baby. It's about what you're holding on to that is not allowing you to birth something that the spirit and that the ancestors and the divinity and the creator wants you to have in your life. So, maybe it's not so bad. Amazing things happen. Miracles happen every day. Like, don't limit your divinity. Don't limit the divine. But anyway, again, peace and love, y'all. I'm out.